Deep in southeastern Tunisia, in the town of El Jem, stands a monument so magnificent and evocative that it rivals the Colosseum itself. It's even earned the title, the African Colosseum. This isn't just another Roman ruin. It's one of the best preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world. The Romans left us with the remains of hundreds of arenas, but this video will cover 3 of the most beautiful and dramatic ones. Technically, the arena is the sandy floor where the gladiators fought and the action took place, and the amphitheater is the entire building, but both terms can be used interchangeably. El Jem is the modern Arabic name of this town in Tunisia, but its history goes much further back. It was originally a Carthaginian town, later conquered by the Romans. Its name in Roman times was Thesdrus, and it got rich from the olive oil trade. It became part of the Roman province of Africa, which was a fertile province that was one of the breadbaskets of the empire, and supplied Rome with plentiful grain and olive oil, so Thesdrus got rich from that trade. Its peak prosperity was during the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, and flush with all that cash, they built this colossal arena between 230 and 238. This is quite late in Roman history for such a large amphitheater to be built, and those were the years when the empire entered its deepest crisis, the crisis of the 3rd century, when the empire experienced political instability and economic decline. So the fact that such an impressive arena was built then shows how rich the city was. It's built with sandstone, which had to be brought from a quarry 30 kilometers away. And you can see bits of eroded Roman concrete on top, which created the slope for the seating. El Jem is the 3rd largest amphitheater in the world. It could hold up to 35,000 spectators. After the empire's fall, it got used as a defensive fortress multiple times. The locals sheltered within its mighty walls, first during the Vandal conquest of Africa, and then during the Arab conquest. Yet somehow, it remained almost perfectly intact, as late as 1695, when during a local rebellion, one side again barricaded themselves inside the arena. The opposing faction pounded the western side with cannonballs in order to breach the walls and put down the rebellion. The breach in the walls is shown in this engraving from 1833. The engraving also gives us an idea of how incredibly preserved the outer wall was, as late as the 1800s. Take note of how preserved the north wall still was. If only the arena lasted this way just a little bit longer. But sadly, just a few years after this engraving was made, its stones started to be taken apart for building material, which is why the north side is half gone today. Yet despite all that, the El Jem Amphitheater stands largely intact, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in my opinion, one of the most dramatic amphitheaters you'll find. Being a gladiator was a tough job. Constant hard training, no family life, the same bland diet every day, and the fear of death in the arena. Their mental health must have been not that great. If only they had an app that can help them with therapy. Luckily for us, there is. That's why I'm glad today's paid partner is BetterHelp. You know, life throws a lot at us, and definitely for myself, life can feel overwhelming and difficult to handle, and the world seems to be heading in an uncertain direction, which can cause a lot of anxiety. Sometimes, you just feel like you need to talk to someone who can help you. A credentialed therapist can truly make a difference. They listen, ask insightful questions, and offer new perspectives and techniques to help you make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is on a mission to make therapy easier and convenient for people. You just fill out a questionnaire, and they match you with a credentialed therapist as soon as possible. And if it's not the right fit, you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. With over 8,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform people trust. If you're going through a difficult time right now, give it a try. Click the link in the description, or go to betterhelp.com/streetgems and get 10% off your first month of therapy. And now let's visit another amazing gladiatorial arena. Imagine stepping back in time, not to Rome, but to a breathtaking monument in northern Croatia. This is the Arena of Pula, and it's Croatia's best preserved ancient monument. Pula stands unique because it's the only Roman amphitheater in the world with its entire outer ring still complete. No other amphitheater has this. It was completed in 81 AD, so right around the time the Colosseum was finished. But it's only half the size of the Colosseum, capable of hosting up to 23,000 spectators. Its design adapts to the sloping landscape. 3 levels of arches on the low side facing the sea, and 2 levels on the higher ground facing the town. Another thing that sets Pula apart are its 4 distinctive towers. These had staircases to get to the upper levels, and archaeologists also think that they held big tanks of perfumed water, which would be sprayed onto the crowds in the hot summer days. And when the sun beat down, the seating area, called the cavea, was covered by massive sails to keep the people in the shade. During the Middle Ages, this magnificent arena took on new roles. At different times it served as a fortress, a grazing pasture for livestock, and even hosted medieval fairs and night tournaments. Sadly, most of its interior seating was quarried for building material over the centuries for other buildings, a typical fate of many ancient structures. Yet remarkably, its outer shell endured. Its stone was taken out as late as the 1700s to build Pula's cathedral, which was the last time it was used as a source of stone. Today, the Pula Arena is a vibrant cultural hub. It hosts the world-famous Pula Film Festival, and electrifying concerts, operas, and even mock gladiatorial shows, bringing this ancient tradition back to life. Imagine attending a live concert in this stunning venue, with its arches as a backdrop. Our journey takes us not far, to northern Italy and the enchanting city of Verona, home to another of the world's most remarkable arenas. Finished in 30 AD, it predates the Colosseum by half a century. This demonstrates that by the time the Colosseum was built, the Romans already perfected the blueprint for monumental amphitheaters. Interestingly, the Arena of Verona is the exact opposite of Pula. What you see here is an incredibly preserved inner core, the heart of the amphitheater, while its outer shell, the facade, has almost entirely vanished. To compare, let's look at the mighty Colosseum for a moment, which has both the inner core and half of its outer shell. So while Pula is mostly the shell, Verona is mostly the core. A catastrophic earthquake in 1117 is what destroyed this outer shell at Verona. And in the same old story, the fallen stones were repurposed as building material for other structures. Yet despite the loss of its outer shell, a small resilient piece of it miraculously survived. Look closely, and you'll notice stones with holes in them. These held the wooden poles of the velarium, the system of sails over the cavea that shaded 30,000 people from the sun. The arena was built with a pink and white limestone, known as Verona Red, Rosso Verona, which gives it a beautiful appearance. Notice these knobs protruding out on the inside of the facade. These held platforms on which the men who operated the velarium system could stand, an ingenious ancient mechanism of climate control. As with all arenas, the many arches were designed to provide as many entries and exits as possible, so that thousands of people could move quickly and efficiently in and out of the amphitheater. They are called vomitoria, from the same root as vomit, because when these massive crowds poured out of the building all at once, it looked as if the arena was vomiting people. But this impressive efficiency also served darker purposes. Early Christians were executed in this amphitheater by the Roman authorities, as they were in many arenas of the empire. And in the Middle Ages, gruesome public executions took place in this very public venue. Most chilling, in 1278, 200 Cathars were burnt at the stake here. The Cathars were a Christian religious movement whose beliefs opposed Catholic doctrine. They were famously exterminated by the Albigensian Crusade in France, but were also persecuted in northern Italy. They were hiding out in a small town nearby, and Verona's ruler captured them and brought them to the arena to burn them alive. 25 years later, the great poet Dante lived in Verona after he was exiled from his home city of Florence. It's very likely that he sat in this arena, perhaps even witnessing executions himself, as he describes such brutal punishments in his epic poem Inferno, Hell. Thankfully for us moderns, these dark chapters of history are behind us, and we can just enjoy this cultural heritage for what it is. Every summer, the arena transforms into the largest open-air opera house in the world. I've even been to an opera here myself, a truly magical experience. This arena is not just a historical monument. It's the beating heart of the city's cultural life, a living, breathing venue, and a beloved gem of the people of Verona.